For more about that, we are joined from Washington tonight by Daniel Levy. He is the director of the Middle East Task Force at the New America Foundation. Thank you, Mr. Levy, for being with us. We had reports earlier today that Hamas had agreed to an Egyptian plan for a ceasefire, but that apparently is not the case. So what's next?
Well, I think what you have is the outlines of a plan. You also have a UN Security Council resolution. The parameters, the elements of the ceasefire package are known. That one of the tragic things is they've been known from the beginning, and they were known before this latest round of fighting happened. No rocket fire, no violence, no Israeli actions inside Gaza, opening the borders of Gaza so that there can be a flow of materials in and out of Gaza, and preventing weapons smuggling. You now have outlines of an Egyptian plan to achieve that. Hamas has raised its concerns. Israel has raised its concerns. You need to now turn this outline package into a detailed plan. Number one, the hope would be that you stop the fire while the details are being thrashed out so that this humanitarian disaster ends. Over 1,000 deaths now. Number two, you're going to need more than just the Egyptians to get that done. We're obviously in a transition here in the US. I think it will need some American involvement, some regional involvement, perhaps Turkey, and others such as Europeans.
Well, what do you make of these published reports in Israel that the military says it has done all it can do in Gaza and now itself is recommending an immediate ceasefire?
Well, you have a situation where this is a tipping point. If Israel continues there and tries to remove Hamas from power in Gaza, then the situation you face is either an indefinite, even semi-permanent Israeli reoccupation of Gaza. Israel's responsible. There'll be an ugly insurgency against Israel. And it's something that the military is obviously not enthusiastic about. Or you put the Palestinian leadership from Ramallah back in charge, but then they would be seen as complicit with Israel. So again, not a good option. In other words, the only realistic option is you have Hamas still in charge of Gaza. There is a division of opinion within the Israeli military and political leadership. It's been an ongoing thing. During the ceasefire, some were in favor, some were against. During this military operation, some would have liked to have brought it to an early conclusion. And the majority opinion now is to end this. One of the ways that you try and influence decision-making in Israel from one side or the other is you leak stories as the military to the press. That's not unique to Israel.
Well, if the goal here is to end it, obviously, we've also heard that a top Israeli official thought to be heading to Cairo tomorrow may not be going at all, at least not right away. So what can you tell us about what message that sends?
Well, this has been an on-again, off-again trip by the official in question, Mr. Amos Gilad. He was there early in the week. I'm sure he will be there again. Israel is probably not comfortable that this is so clearly being coordinated with Hamas. Israel had wanted to put together a package without Hamas involved. That's not really an achievable thing, given that Hamas is a player in this. I think you will see Mr. Gilad or someone else engaging with the Egyptians. I think you will see a move to wind this down, to de-escalate. The bigger question, of course, is if one can get a ceasefire, if one can end this, what does one do next? You'll have to reconstruct Gaza, but you'll also have to reconstruct a peace process. Gaza is only 6% of the territory of what is considered to be a future Palestinian state. It's getting to that next stage of how you get a border, how you get Israeli security, how you get the end of occupation, a Palestinian state. That's going to be a serious challenge for the Obama administration.
Daniel Levy, the director of the Middle East Task Force at the New America Foundation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.